Graybeard Gaming. All right. Okay, so every week I open this with like, hey, welcome to the Graybeard Gaming Podcast. I would think people know what they clicked on, right? I mean, I don't. I
mean,
think
know.
I mean, maybe not. If you didn't, this is the Graybeard Gaming Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's growing back, as you can tell. It's fuzzy, but well, anyway, I am Scott. This is David. The one with the accent is Liam. And we talk about games from our perspective as gamers and not journalists, not people in the industry, and how these things pertain to us as consumers, as people that love games and actually buy the stuff. So this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about Nintendo. We're going to talk a lot about the new Halo Studios. And then we've got a couple of rumors and Red Dead Redemption coming to PC. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And one of my favorite games gets a sequel. So let's go ahead and get started. David, let's start with you. What's your week look like since you were absent last week? How'd the show go?
I've been so busy. It was good. Yeah. It was actual. This last one was kind of a doozy. It was in the mountains of Pennsylvania, okay, in the middle of nowhere. And we're driving. We're not on an interstate. We're on some random highway.
And you picked up a hitchhiker.
Yeah, we finally get there, and it's the most beautiful venue. It's huge. It looks like it could fit 1,000 people. It's like sound is amazing. You had somebody from Sweetwater there working on the sound.
Oh, wow.
I know, it was ridiculous. Okay, it was ridiculous. But because it's so remote, the two towns that are next to where that venue is has the population like max 300. So like you had like 10 people max at the show, and that's it was and
wow.
Yeah, and they played it and they were like, how does it sound? I'm like, it sounds incredible. It's just fucking sad that nobody's here. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then the next one you go to is like this little bar and like in an alleyway, and they crammed like 4,000 people in it. It sounds like shit, and it's like
it's funny because she's playing the show today, and it's local, so I don't have to travel. Right. But it's the exact opposite of that other show.
Right.
Like it's at a festival, so there's going to be thousands of people there, right? Coming in and out, and the venue where they're playing their stuff, you can't use any of your gear. And they're like, what do you mean we can't use any of it? You have to use, because they have bands that are
it's like
playing,
rotating,
so they don't want to change anything. So like the keyboardist with all his sounds, he can't use his keyboard. He has to use some random keyboard. And it's like, she's like, it's gonna be the worst sound, and it's gonna be 1 billion people there, and
wow,
we go from that to a show where there's nobody there, but the sound is amazing. Like it's, I mean, this is life. This is life.
That's
never a perfect circumstance, is there?
No, it's ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, I did get a chance to squeeze in a little bit of. I mean, I didn't know about this game, Return to Moria. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah, we talked about it on our show. Oh, well, no, you weren't on that. You weren't on that episode. Okay, I'll let you pass on that. But yeah, I've been playing it.
Yeah, like it's totally up my alley. It's like survival. Mm-hmm. It's you could build, you could craft. It's Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's got a lot of lore attached to it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in. What is it? Dune? Whatever. Doom? What is it? I forget the name of it.
No, it's the Mines of Moria, and you're in.
Right.
Yeah, I forget the location, like the mountain that it's in.
Right.
But yeah, and they also did you notice that a lot of the aesthetics, which I like, they followed like the Peter Jackson films. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it just
there's even you run into things like like this was the Fellowship. The Fellowship was here. Like oh shit, no way, this is cool.
Yeah.
So but it's been out a year. So like I'm like playing it. I'm like, how the hell did I not know about this game? But people online have been saying that it didn't do really well in the very beginning, and then I guess they updated it in the whole year.
Yeah.
And then now it's actually a really amazing game. So
it was. I think it came out on early access, or it came out. No, I think it came out on the Epic Game Store. Which, as we know, if that's your first outing, nobody's going to buy you. But it was a little janky
Yeah.
at first, and so I waited. And this is like the full release, and also console release. They released it on Xbox as well. I think on PlayStation. I think on both.
Okay.
But that's when I got it. I waited till it was fixed
Yeah.
basically, and I've been having fun with it too.
Yeah.
It has those hallmarks of things I like. You get a backpack, you get a torch,
Yeah.
you get a weapon. Go find some shit, and just make it your own kind of game. And
Yeah.
yeah. But it is multiplayer, right?
Yeah, Gina's been playing with me until she falls asleep, which is like lasts about a good 20 minutes. But yeah, I think it's like I think 4 people can play with you, or 5 or 6 or something. So
Man, you get some shit
it's
done.
no, it's pretty cool. I'm really into it. So, but then I heard Conan is coming up with an update, so I might go back to that.
And we never saw.
Can never
David
stay on
again.
one game.
Right.
No,
I know
no.
my wife who plays Valheim solely, like that she has found her forever game apparently.
Yeah.
She's like, nobody plays with me, and I'm like, you play one game. That's just you just play the one game. Like I got all the
Yeah.
games, and I can't find anybody to play with. But you got the one game. That doesn't work that way. But yeah, it's Moria is. I like it. I dip into it. It's almost like a. Would you say it's like a? I hate to use that word, but kind of cozy, like in a like you can.
Yeah.
It's not super dangerous, but I just want to explore. Like I just want to go deeper and
Yeah.
deeper into Moria and see what
Yeah.
other little nuggets of Tolkien lore they put in there.
Well, it's funny you bring up Valheim because I think it has a lot of Valheim aspect to it, like in the sense that you get really deep into the mine and you're like, I'm tired, I can't really fight, and you're like, I have to build a fire, and now
Yeah.
I'm camping.
Yep.
So you
Yep.
bring enough
Sleep.
stuff on your backpack to bring a camp, and it's great because it's like. I love building a fire and just okay, honey, let's rest now, and
Yeah.
I want to cook some food. Okay, we're gonna cook some food. I'm like, this is great,
Yeah.
like, and then you get your stuff and then you keep on trekking, But the one thing that she had said, which I kind of agree with her a little bit, is she goes, when do we leave? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, when do we leave the mine?
Oh, when you get out.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's not open world. She's like, it's not open world. I'm like, well, the mines of Moria are huge.
Yeah.
So, but she's like, we're gonna be in this mine the whole time. I'm like, it's not in the open world in the same way that you're used to.
Right.
It's not like you're gonna get out of the cave and there's gonna be trees and you can explore that biome. But I'm like, it doesn't exist. We're in the mines of Moria. Mines of Moria are huge. So. Yeah, I had to take a second to realize that, like, okay, this is where the game is. The game is
Yeah.
here, So,
Yeah,
But it's
a
cool.
little different. Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like I don't know of any other survival game that is in like one like biome.
right.
Not really biome, but yeah, just like one
But,
setting
like,
that doesn't
indoors.
have other biomes.
Yeah, it's indoors the whole time,
Right.
And like most games don't do something like that, which is cool. I mean, I like variety. If I want to be in a cave and be a mole, I'll play that Return to Moria.
Yeah, cool. All right, Liam, what have you been up to? I think do you have speakers on? I think we're getting a little bit of an echo from you.
Actually, hang on.
It's just a hint. It's just a hint of echo.
Just a little bit, just a little hint of echo.
Just a tiny, tiny
Actually,
bit.
maybe I've just got mine too loud.
Oh, okay.
Those look new, by the way.
Yeah.
What are these?
Mhm.
Okay,
He's like, what
mine-
these? I got these last week.
Nah, actually got one on my PC. Everything's RGB over here.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got to go RGB.
Yeah, well, I think you can guess what I've been doing.
Yeah, because the Diablo 4 meteorite hit.
Yeah, they updated Diablo again.
Yep.
And, oh, man, there's a lot to unpack there. You know how before you got to basically level 50 was your sort of character.
Right.
And with that, you had a skill tree to do. So to level 50 is all your skills. And then the following levels are paragon points.
Right.
which is basically boosting your stats and your skills and whatever. So the max level was 100. Well, they've updated that now with the expansion. So your base level can be 60 with your skill points, and the Paragon level goes up to 300.
Oh, what?
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
Plus more skills, more uniques, a new class, and yeah, there's a ton of stuff added to it. It's massive. The actual campaign itself isn't that much. Like, it's not. It's just like half a campaign, really. So, like, the added story doesn't really go anywhere. It's just more build up to the next expansion. So, like,
Oh, okay. That's how they're gonna do it.
Hate that
How long
stupid
would
thing,
you
how
say
to
the
do that.
campaign is, hour-wise?
I don't know, maybe a few hours.
Really? That's it?
I'm just guessing here.
Yeah.
I don't know the timing, but I don't think it's very long, because the whole point really of Diablo is to level up and. Do
Well,
damage
yeah. I
with,
mean, that's
you know,
not why you're getting it. It's for the story.
But yeah, this isn't like a campaign part 2, really.
Yeah.
It's just like a taste of what's to come.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, after 5 expansions, we're fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the rest, oh wow, there's so much. I actually played a lot. I also got Dragon Ball.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah. I don't know, just kind of an impulse buy, I guess, on that one. I found a good deal.
Is that a fighting
online.
game?
Yeah. Not
But
like a
like,
two
no, but-
not like a 2D
Oh.
fighting game. No, there's Dragon Ball Fighters, if you want that. But this is
Okay.
like a 3D Dragon Ball. You know the Budokai series. Be like that. Well, I think it's a
Like
spiritual
a
successor to
3D
that, so-
arena.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is a fighting game, just more of a.
It's more
yeah,
3D.
It's
More
larger.
3D. You can fly
Yeah.
around and
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
do all
Okay,
these
I know
special
what you're talking
moves.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jump up in the air, get really mad,
Yeah.
come down with your foot.
Yeah.
Bam. Yeah.
Go in the water, just stay there for some reason. It's quite funny. But the thing I don't know about Dragon Ball games, because I know a little bit of Dragon Ball. I don't watch much anime, and I know the basics of Dragon Ball. And it seems like every single game does the same to me. Like,
Yeah.
when they, with the campaigns, they always show Goku's story. Like, I know what happens with Goku. And then there's another game, oh, Dragon Ball Kakarot. Oh, it's Goku again. Oh, Dragon Ball this. Oh, it's Goku again. And Goku's story again. It's like, we know it. So, I don't know, that's just me, but... So, yeah, you go to the campaign on this one, and you start with Goku again. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
Are these
Yeah.
these are done by different studios though, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how
Maybe they're
I'm
not very
sure.
strict on their licensing.
Not sure who actually does all the games. I just know it's under
Yeah.
Bandai Namco. But they do the stories, so you can do all the stories, and there's a lot of campaign missions to do. Basically, walking you through the various episodes and, you know, big plot points in the series. But it's kind of weird because it sticks you in the middle of this fight. So, Goku is up against Vegeta. But you don't do the entire fight. It's just like survive for 40 seconds, and then a cutscene appears.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because it's Dragon Ball.
Because that's how the fight happened.
Right.
But you're not doing like a whole battle. It's just, just do this objective, and then there's a
see.
cutscene. So it's kind of weird. You're in the middle of doing a super move, and your character's like this, and he stops.
You know, that sounds to me like I played the Final Fantasy 16 demo for PC, and that's how I felt about that. It's like when you got to a certain point in a fight, it's like it was just take over into this animation that
Yeah,
then
and
I'm
he'll just do his own thing.
why can't I do that?
Yeah, I know. So I don't know if I can go back and actually do the proper fights, but that kind of happens a lot in the
Yeah.
campaign. I haven't gone online because I know I'm getting my ass kicked right now, learning controls. Yeah, I've got that bit too. So
Yeah, that may just be a Japanese game thing.
yeah, maybe.
You know,
And
people like different stuff. That's cool. Cool. So that's been Diablo 4. Well, I'm guessing Diablo 4 is going to take up a lot of your time moving forward.
yeah, and then I've got a PC gaming to go to as well. Someday, got all the games. I just gotta find the time as well.
Well, you can if you if you bought Diablo 4 on Xbox, you can play it on PC.
Yeah, I cannot play the expansion though, which is a shame.
Oh, does it not transfer?
No, it doesn't transfer. The
That's-
only reason
man.
the only reason I can play Diablo 4 is because it's on Game Pass.
Okay,
and
yeah.
that goes across PC,
Right.
but it's not cross-buy, unfortunately.
Yeah. Not yet, anyway.
No.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they're dedicated to Diablo 4, which is good. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
they kind of robbed us of Diablo 3.
Yeah. You want me to
So
laugh
many
as well
times.
because I'm not like a hardcore Diablo fan. I go to like streamers, have a click, and they're already max level on 3 characters. It's like, how? In what time did you do that? It's been out a day.
They don't sleep. they absolutely don't sleep. So
like, geez.
I know. Well, it's their job.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy though. It's like when developers put all their heart into it, and the players are like, "Oh, I'm finished." Like, what do you mean you're finished?
I know. Well, playing Destiny 2 for so many years, that's one thing that we always dealt with. It's like, oh yeah, dropping the new raid. Yep, it's gonna take these guys. They finished it.
yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Pretty much.
It's like, and then everybody's like, "What? We paid what for this? If somebody finished it in like an hour and a half." So yeah, it's always that leverage between money and time. But speaking of time, Nintendo made an alarm clock. Have you seen this thing?
No.
Yeah, it's really
weird.
cool. It looks like a clock from like the Mario world. The difference is that when you set the alarm and it goes off, it soothes you. So I haven't. I've been kind of busy this week. I had some technical issues with just about everything I touched all week. So as far as me gaming, I didn't get a lot of gaming in. But it seems that like I'm as far as like sound equipment, if I touch it, it eventually breaks. So I'm kind of in between audio interfaces right now and stuff. But so anyway, I had to deal with all that and getting something sent off to Roland, and then getting something else in place, and then all that kind of nuts. So, but I did play some Destiny 2 because I got some friends going. It's come back.
Yeah, come back to this one.
Pull you back. So I'm trying to get caught up in that, and I haven't played in like when did the last expansion come out? June. I haven't played since June, so that's several months. I have no idea what is going on. I have no idea where to go.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't understand. There is no other game that's like that just goes, hey, here is a clear definition of what you need to be doing. Hide that on your screen, show you something completely different. Then go to that completely different and find out that you're not even close to leveling up or the level you need to be. And then go try to do the thing that person told you to do. Oh, where is it? Now you got to go find it in your menu. Then find out where it is because they never just tell you where it is. I'm uninstalling that thing. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, it's the same reason I couldn't do Destiny in the end, because you miss like a couple of months or a season, all of a sudden the whole thing's changed. It's like, what?
Yeah, and
where am I?
I mean, you can't get new players like that. I think that's one thing that Sony's working with them on is to like, hey, you really need to get something to get new players. Because if you were to come in right now, I mean, imagine. Okay, imagine going to like the Lord of the Rings Film Festival, right, and coming in at about 2/3 into Two Towers, right before they go to Helm's Deep, sitting next to your friend and going, "Okay, what'd I miss?"
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like you can't do that. You can't do that.
You went and took a long piss.
Right. I came back
or like just going into like a season of TV and that's the ninth season.
Yeah,
like,
starting with season 3. Like, who are these people? And
it's like you left and it's like, wait, Saruman, he's bad?
Right.
What the?
Yeah, it's just it's still fun to play. I get kind of just zone out and just shoot some stuff, but man,
I mean they always got good gunplay. I'm just annoyed at the fact they just like got rid of all the campaigns. It's like they just vault everything everything that was
Yeah,
there
who
and
else
you wanted to play, we just take that away.
Nobody else does that.
And lock it. I don't know, make a new game out of it. I don't care, but why can't we just play it?
Well, I don't know why you couldn't say like the Red War. The Red War was a great introduction to Destiny 2.
That was an amazing campaign.
How about for new players, you download the Red War, right?
Yeah.
And play that campaign. And then when you're finished with it, you can uninstall it and download the rest of Destiny 2. I don't see a problem with that. I don't see any confusion in that. The one thing that they were worried about is it getting bloated and having like a 300, gig download. I don't know anybody that is a diehard Destiny 2 fan that gives a shit because that's the only thing on their drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
hey, if COD can do it.
yeah, no kidding, right? Hey, we're just gonna put COD HQ on your hard drive. We'll just dump all the games in that. Yeah, 500 gig. Yeah, a terabyte. Nah, you're good. You're good. Don't worry about it. It's all Call of Duty. But
I think a lot of games do that though. There's a lot of games that if you miss it and you come back in, I mean, Conan is I'm starting to feel a little bit of that of Conan. Like that's why sometimes I'm watching these YouTube videos on Conan because once I jump in, I'm like, what is it that like the thralls that you get that work at your benches? They're gonna start doing something different, like altogether. So. Yeah, if you miss a little bit, you end up missing a lot, so to speak.
Yeah,
that's the
live service game.
Yeah, that's the problem with live service because they keep changing it every 2 months. You come back in like Diablo now. Diablo at launch is not Diablo now.
Oh no, it's only been out for what, a year and a half? 2 years.
Has it been 2 years? I think it's been 1 year.
Did it come out last year? Man. We get so few giant games now. I can't keep up with, the
little ones.
The little ones, right? Well, I was thinking about that the other day. I went somewhere and I came outside, and you know how the it's like overcast and the air is like a lot cooler and there's a breeze.
Yeah.
And you get that tinge of nostalgia of like pumpkins and candy corn and Not this guy. I get that tinge of nostalgia for a new Halo game or a new Call of Duty or a new Battlefield. Like that October going into November, like for so many years has been just this ramped up of like, when is this coming out? When is it coming out? Is it time yet? Can I just sleep until this comes out? That kind of excitement. And then I'm like walking around, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? What's wrong? I don't even know. I'm like, I'm excited for like nothing.
What do I do?
I know, like I'm just what is going on?
I'll take a pumpkin pie class or something to learn how to make pumpkin pie.
I need to like switch my thinking or something. But it just reminds me that I don't get excited about like this time of year for games anymore. Which is, I guess, not a bad thing because we get games like, when did Diablo 4 came out? July? That's fantastic, man. It did.
I can't remember when it came out.
It was
July?
I'm pretty sure it was in July, right? It was in the summer. Maybe it was August. Anyway, games coming out in like all year as opposed to just everything coming out in November. I think is just fantastic for the industry and for us. We don't have to wait, forever.
Yeah.
June 23.
Yeah.
But it's still summer. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
I'm looking forward to Black Ops 6 this year. So that's just like under 2 weeks now.
See, I'm not really. I mean, I'm going to play it, but I'm not really excited about it.
I'm excited for it, actually. So I'm like, I've got too many games, and there's more games coming.
Well, you just got a new PC, so you're like...
I know.
You're like...
you're overloaded right now.
I'm just spoiling myself at this point. It's like, what am I doing with all this?
You have all the games. Yeah. So you're good. But you're in a good position where you've got stuff available to you. It's not that you're waiting for things to come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just made me think. It's like, wow, I'm getting super excited. It just feels like it's just reminiscent of like, man, waiting for Halo 2 to come out was like just brutal, man. I worked at in 2004. I worked at Costco,
nice,
which is one of the better retail jobs, to be honest. It's a great company to work for, but about this time, we got in a huge, like a pallet box. Now, a pallet box is usually what you see like in Costco. They'll have a pallet with a big cardboard thing that's full of pumpkins, or it's full of, watermelons or something. It was full of Halo 2, like to the top. I mean, it was just full of Halo 2. And me and another, one of the managers, the only other guy in the whole store that actually played games, he got on the radio and goes, "Hey, you got to come back here and check this out." I'm like, "Oh, okay, excuse me.
We're going to swim in it.
Right. No, right. It's like me rubbing all over me. But he did. He's like, "Come here." And I looked in that thing. I was like, "Oh my God." He's like, "It's here." And we were like so excited. And I looked at him and I said, "What if I buy this right now?" He goes, "Oh, well, you would be fired immediately." And I said, "But do I get to keep the game?" And he just walked off. He's like, "God, you're an idiot." So every time I went to the bag, man, I had to look at that big box of Halo 2 like for a month. Like we had it for almost a month until we put it out. And
He's like, you gotta come back here, and then you're like, why are you rock hard right now? What's going on? Check out this box.
Did you put that hole in that box? What's? You got a little Halo 2 behind your ear. Oh, sorry. Anyway, but you know what I mean? It's like the excitement of that next like giant title coming out.
Yeah.
I just don't. I'm sure it's probably age. I've matured a little bit since then, I'm sure. But that was 20 years ago. But yeah, we just don't get. I just don't get as excited either because it's usually
I also feel
released
that as
crappy.
well. Yeah, like today doesn't feel the same as years ago when a game came out. Of course, we knew that game would be finished.
Right. Because now you're like, oh, it's coming out on that day. I'm not taking that day off. I'm taking the next day off because I'm pretty sure the servers are going to be shit.
Yeah, I'll take the next week off because the servers are going to be offline for a while.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And it was Diablo. I thought, Diablo expansion is coming out, so I stopped.
Yeah, and then the servers
till midnight, and the servers died.
Yep. This is why we don't get excited. It's like,
I know. It's just a lot of problems that come like technically, seemingly last minute that nobody noticed.
Yeah. Even though the game's been out for how long? Well, anyway. So speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about this, or a lot about this, because this is kind of big, and I'm gonna attempt to. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So this is what we're looking at, and if you're on audio, I'm just going to tell you it's a new dawn from Halo Studios. So 343 is gone. Why is that not streaming? Come on, stream. Okay, I'm not touching it. They've shut down. God dang, will you? Okay, this will be a little bit of editing. So 343 has changed their name to Halo Studios, saying they are no longer a tech company, and they're ditching the Slipstream engine that they created for Halo Infinite, and they're going with the Unreal Engine. The video that we're watching is, they'll show assets from the Halo project in Unreal. And saying they're focused on making Halo games without supporting a game engine. So, what are your thoughts on this, guys? What do you think this is?
I think it's cool. I mean, there are some studios that need rebranding, if you know what I mean. Like Ubisoft or something that just needs to close, shut down, and like restart over again.
Yeah.
I think Unreal Engine 5 might actually make the game look incredible. I'm excited about that. Yeah.
Definitely has more potential than other engines right now.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be Unreal. So.
Right. I'm looking at the video now with the water and everything. It looks great. Yeah. I kind of fell off of Halo for a little while after maybe 3 or something like that, or what they came out with ODST. I think I played ODST for a little while. But yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to jumping back in Halo if they have something worth playing, But you know. What
Well,
do you guys think?
Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. Really, like I mean, I wasn't like a big Halo fan. I wasn't like growing up on Halo, so obviously different takes on it. But if they can make it look, you know, exceedingly good, I mean, Halo. I don't know. Infinite looks good. It doesn't look incredible good. And I mean, it plays well. I love how Halo plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're trying to sort of get the old Xbox feeling back. That old, you know, like Halo 2, for example, that that hype again for Halo, or just like the 360. And like, why do people like Xbox? Why do people like Halo? What did we do, you know,
Yeah.
to get to that point? I'm hoping they're sort of doing a soft reboot, really.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
What's your perspective on this?
Well, Halo Infinite was supposed to be kind of a soft reboot.
Yeah.
This Halo 5 was, even though commercially successful because of its multiplayer, the story was critically and objectively bad in every way. And when I first saw this video, I was mad. First, because I felt like it's just like just putting a mask on the problem. If they weren't really coming out and saying, hey, this is why we're ditching the name 343 Industries. If they had come out and said, hey, look, leadership for this studio was obviously not right for Halo. They are now gone. The Three Stooges, which I refer to, Bonnie Ross, Frank O'Connor, and Kiki Wolfkill, mismanaged the franchise in every possible way, at every facet, in every corner. I mean, just look at the TV show. They okayed every bit of that TV show. They okayed the fact that the director, the writer, the producer all told everyone not to play the games, not to read the books, not to absorb anything from the source material of which the TV show they are making. Demanded it. Don't do any of it. They were fine with that. When the earlier people, when Bungie and Microsoft went to 20th Century Fox to make a Halo movie, that's basically what they told them. And Microsoft and Bungie said, fuck you, we're not doing that. If you're not going to make it with the source material, then we're going to go somewhere else. And they shopped around. So there's a difference there. There's a difference between if you don't respect the source material, how can you make good source material? The rest of the source material is in your hands now. I think that after I watched it again and kind of absorbed everything that they're trying to say here, I still think it would have gone a long way of them admitting, just flat out admitting that showing, hey, look, these are all new people. It's all new management. That's what they should be focusing on, not so much this, whatever they're showing us, like this right here. This looks like Halo CE. It's the Mark IV armor, or whatever, from Halo.
Halo CE remake coming.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, and that's kind of my thoughts on that as well. But if they had come out and just said, we fucked up, we screwed it up so bad, we didn't know where to go from this, and it did show, their actions show that, like Halo Infinite 2 scrapped, like that whole storyline, they just ditched it. We'll never find out what name the AI picked. We'll never find out, where he landed. We'll never find out, maybe there'll be a book or something. But at this point in this stage of the game, they've lost a lot of fans, and they're not gaining new players with a franchise that, just like what we just talked about, like playing Destiny 2 and walking in, it's like, hey, this is a new Halo game. Who are these people? Who are they? Why is everything revolving around this guy in green armor? It was never intended to be that way. It was intended to be able to, you can pick up a Halo game at any time and have fun with it, because Master Chief is not the center of Halo. Master Chief is you. Whoever you are, you're playing Master Chief. These things are happening, and you're not the catalyst. You're there in the story. You're not the story. And that's where I think they failed the most. They tried to make Master Chief, they humanized him. They made him a major character. If it wasn't just someone in a green suit, it would have mattered. But with that, that guy in the green suit is you. He speaks for you in a gravelly voice, but So I was really negative about this at first, and I wrote down like everything that I was like, but then it's just about starting over with the studio. I am sure that is extremely difficult. Them going to Unreal is probably a good business idea, business sense, because they can get support from other studios within Microsoft. I would have liked to have seen them use id Tech instead. Unreal Engine 5 is not an end-all engine. It has major issues, especially with open world. It stutters on PC. Whatever game you're playing. A lot of this, I think we're on 5.5 now. There's a lot of things that they've fixed, and it's been optimized a little bit more. But this is the engine that's tanking this generation of consoles. When a game comes out, it's like, yeah, it looks like this. It's great. Unreal Engine 5, you can guarantee it's 30 frames per second.
I think there are a few 60 FPS, but they're
There's
probably
a couple.
not.
Right,
They're probably not like open world or
Right, but you can guarantee that if it looks visually
if it looks
pleasing,
amazing,
right, it's going to be 30 FPS.
Yeah, which makes me think this could be a next Xbox thing.
Oh, absolutely. You're not going to see this. We're not going to see this anytime soon. This is just them going, hey, we're still here, pour one out for 343. But I get the fact that they want to. It makes sense, It makes sense to hire a team that knows Unreal and can make, like, here's the game we want to make it in Unreal. It will probably shave years off of development.
Also, actually hiring developers, when you're looking for new people, they already know Unreal.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you have to throw in a new engine. It's like, this is this engine, and that's this engine. It's like,
yeah. Plus, you got a whole studio and coalition that seems to be wizards with Unreal. I mean, what they did. Go look at Gears 5. That's Unreal Engine 4. And it looks absolutely amazing. I mean, they squeezed every bit of graphic fidelity out of that. But at the same time, Halo doesn't have to be the best looking game on the market. It just has to be the most fun. And again, if they would focus on that, if they came out and said, oh, that idiot that kept saying, oh, Halo's always been competitive, those remarks just remind us that 343 never understood Halo. The guy they put in charge of Halo 5 made one game. It was a street basketball game. And somewhere in that studio, somebody said, you are perfect to lead this billion-dollar franchise. Go make Halo 5. And this is what we got. Yeah, guess what? After it shipped, he, left. But
Basketball Master Chief.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like you want somebody that's seasoned and knows how to make games, and it's just those decisions. Yeah. This is why I'm not excited about this. I don't know if it's just
I understand a lot of skepticism, obviously, because you've probably been burnt so many times already, especially with a lot of games. But I'm hoping this is for the better, and hopefully.
Yeah, and I use this analogy. I think I told you, Liam, we were talking about this earlier, but like if, where I live, if there's an apartment complex that's on the news and there was a, drug bust or a drug deal went bad and there's bullet holes everywhere and people died and, they show on the news, it's like 15 cop cars and everything's taped off and it's like this, this apartment complex and that name is like all over the place. A month later, I guarantee you when you drive by that, the whole place will be painted. It will have a brand new name because they don't want people. They don't want to keep that name any longer than they have to, because people will start attributing like crime and murder to that apartment complex. So they change the name quickly, and then everybody forgets what it was called. It's genius. So you got 343 Industries. Now they're Halo Studios. See my point? It's just a new coat of paint. They're gonna have to prove it to me and everybody that has been playing Halo since Halo came out, that they understand the franchise and want to move it forward and want to make a good game. If they were to remake Halo CE, and this is the last thing I can say on this, if they want to remake Halo CE and the Unreal Engine, awesome. That is my favorite Halo game. Do it. If that going forward, they want to make their own story and retcon everything that happened before that and put it in like a legendary series or whatever Star Wars did with, you know, all the fiction that was before Disney bought them, which is arguably better. But, you know, if they want to separate that and then go forward with a brand new, I think that would introduce more people. Release it on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 6, whatever. It's a third-party game. Everybody can play it. Everybody can like it. And then you're going to get a lot of new fans, and it's going to reinvigorate Halo just overall. And we can drop all of this, just lore baggage that comes with it, that a lot of it is just terrible and mismanaged. Just to its core. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping they come out and they go, look, this is what we're doing. It's Halo CE. When you finish this game, our next game's going to be Halo 2. It's going to be our Halo 2. It's going to be your Halo 2. It's going to be a new Halo 2. And the story just, you know, goes from there. So, I don't know. But we'll see. They're going to have to prove it to me. I'm not excited about this at all.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see in a couple of years how it goes.
Yeah.
I think with themselves like naming Halo Studios as well, I think it also lets them sort of have a point to prove. Like, right, this is a new name, a new direction, so they have to prove themselves. It's not just like, oh, 343 is doing another game.
Yeah, I think
the way it's structured, it's like, no, we're going to be like a new studio.
Right, a game studio. We're making Halo games because that's our name. I'm kind of locked into it now. I was like, if you
if you want to do something else, we'll leave now. Right, we're locked in here.
But if they had if with Unreal Engine it allows them to make other games like ODST that are outside of, you know, the main you know, deal.
And they did say they've already got multiple projects, so they're probably planning on quite a bit. Yeah.
I'm afraid, unfortunately, they're going to have to find a new voice for Master Chief at some point. I mean, Steve Downes is great at that, but he's also in his 70s, and
might have like another 10 years. Who knows?
Well, I mean, you don't want to do it halfway through, though. You know, you don't want to go from Halo 2 to Halo 3, and it's like, I need a weapon, and then you go to Halo 3, it's like, I need a weapon. You know, I mean, if you're gonna reboot it and start from scratch, it's probably the best time to do that.
Eventually, it's going to be, I need a weapon!
I need a weapon? Excuse me?
Is that a sword over there? Give me that!
I would like to see that, actually. Just Master Chief going,
Master Chief.
I need my weapon!
My back! My back!
I need a glass of water to take my pills. Or, you know, after Halo CE, if they introduced a new character and just, you know, I mean, I don't think they should ever kill Master Chief. That would be a huge mistake. But just, you know, like, I mean, the first retired Spartan, like that would be, you know, it's like, hey, can you go train all of these other Spartans? Because they're kind of weak. That would be awesome. But that's just, you know, that's going off into speculation and everything.
This is Master Chief 2000 edition. This was you know, like a Toyota, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
There's an old cheap Toyota 4Runner. Oh, this is the old 4Runner version. Yeah, we got a much better one now, but this is the old one. You know?
Good choice of
choice
of vehicles, 4Runner.
Dude, I had a 4Runner. I hated it. It was the worst fucking car I ever had. But anyway, shots fired.
Yeah. Canceled.
No, listen. I'm sort of like, like out of the Halo loop. You know,
Well, that's good. What's your perspective?
I mean, I was on the wave hard for a long time, you know, and yeah, I mean, like,
Shouldn't you be saying you're out of the Halo ring?
Ah,
yeah, right.
okay.
I'm
Now you're canceled.
But zing. Yeah, no, I've been out of it for a long time, and like I didn't even care to watch the shows because they look like shit.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not really a show guy because you know I'm just not. So I'm totally cool with like, you know, I'm a gamer. You know, I like playing games. I
Right.
like being entertained. So if there's something that they're gonna make that's gonna be amazing, then great. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna definitely treat it like Star Wars, where it's like, listen, I don't have any high hopes that this is gonna be any good.
Right.
In fact, I probably think it's gonna be shit.
Right.
I'll watch it, and you know, if you try to do this bullshit where Rey is now the granddaughter of so and so and
Yeah.
fucking, you know, and you're gonna just kind of like, I'm gonna just gonna be like, this is fucking stupid. You know what I mean? But like
Yep.
at the end of the day, I kind of almost feel like Halo, like sort of, or like already lost me. So I mean, you gotta do some shit to make me come back. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
I mean, Master Chief has to be able to make a campfire so that I can rest. You know, yeah.
I'm
I gotta be
tired.
able to build a house. You know, Minecraft me or something. No,
I need a
but
lighter.
yeah, but you know, I don't know. I'm definitely down with, you know, it's tough because it's like on one hand I like that nostalgic feeling, but on the other hand, like I don't really want. Do I really want it to be the exact same shit
Right.
as the first one or the second one? Like, you know, the thing is I appreciate those games for what they were. I appreciate one. I used to fucking love that ending where you used to get in a car and you have to drive out of the fucking
Mm-hmm.
ship. I forget what it's called, but you used to have to drive out of the ship because it was exploding left and right.
Yeah.
And I think I remember playing that with I don't know who it was, somebody, and they didn't know how to play that part. I was like, just get in the fucking car, and we were just having the time of our lives, you know, and it was really really great. I don't know if they're going to be able to. I hope that they have, um, you know, they understand that aspect of what was
Yeah.
made Halo great,
Yeah.
and they can put that in. It's not really. I mean, I love looking at great graphics, sure, but at the end of the day that getting in the Warthog and getting the hell out of an exploding ship was just such an amazing feeling. Put that feeling in there. That's what needs to get in there, and that's what really made Halo an amazing thing. I mean, you know, but again, I like I said, I don't have super high hopes. You know, it's to me, it's already sort of like dead. So, like you said, they have to make it new. They can't like resuscitate a dead corpse.
Yeah,
You know.
if it's a CE remake, it has to be a full remake. It can't be
Yeah.
just, you know,
Remastered.
like yeah. As many times as I've played it, I'm hoping that to not just go through it and play it like why am I playing this? I could just, you know, I could have saved my
Yeah.
money and just played the original. It's got to be something new and a new take. But I'm still on the fence. I mean, I'm not on the fence. I've crossed the fence. I'm in their yard. I'm taking a dump in it. But I really miss Halo being about something larger. You know, Halo used to be about like, oh my God, these guys. Like, just the fact that like the elites got shafted. You know, and Halo 2, it's like, hey, guess what? It's
got the
not an
brutes.
ascension. It's really just everybody's gonna die. And one of them was like, I'm not okay with that. That gave much more depth to, you know, what was going on outside of what, you know, Master Chief was doing. And they with Infinite, I get that they want to focus back on Chief because 5 was just a terrible just game in general. But in doing a course correction, you know, it's like it's all about him, and it's all about him and Cortana. And honestly, I'm tired. It's tired. It's done. You know, it's just it's the whole thing's done. You know, give me a guy in a green suit, give me a snarky, you know, blue AI, and make games with them in it, not games around them. When they started doing this whole Cortana thing, I think they lost a lot of people. And that was, those were the decisions about 343 to go in that direction. And time again, they just make the wrong one. Changing the name, getting a new studio, going with a new engine, showing all these new people on the video, talking about how everything's new. I'm not buying it, but I'm not as angry as I was watching this the first time. I kind of see where they're coming from. This is their way of showing that they are dedicated. It's a husk of 343 now, and they're filling it with people that seem to hopefully want to make Halo, because when 343 when they made 343 Industries, they purposefully hired people that hated Halo to make a better Halo. Tell me where that makes sense. That does not make sense. And even people that have worked there over the years that have left there said, every single one of them have just said, management is so out of touch and doesn't know what the fuck is going on. I couldn't work there anymore.
Yeah.
Don't. Hey, this new Halo game that's coming out, it ain't great because they don't know how to make Halo. So maybe we can have a little sliver of hope that they'll do something with this. And also make different stories.
Yeah, well, I hope there's good Halo that comes out of this. And just something I noticed as well, like recently, I feel like we're sort of in a loop about gaming right now, like a
remakes
cycle.
and remasters.
Remakes, remasters, and re-releases all the time. But especially like classic feelings of games. They're trying to get that classic sort of 90s, 2000 feeling back. And I just thought about this. I thought, wait a minute, we're getting new Halo. We're getting new Gears from before the series. And there's a new Fable game.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
And then Sony's out there remastering all their old franchises.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of like we're going all full circle here.
We are, because it's expensive and risky to make a new IP.
It is,
yeah. But also at the same time, I'm pretty sure that if they're remaking C, and I'm pretty confident that their next game, Halo game that comes out, will be a remake of CE, because it's going to come out on PlayStation. Just like Gears is going to come out on PlayStation. You can't come out with and we talked about this before. It's like here's Gears 6. Like, holy shit, who are they? What's going on? Who are they talking about? He's dead? I don't know. I mean, you can't just go multi-plat with number 6. You have to have something that's grounded. And then, of course, in that interim between now and getting Gears Day 1, we're probably going to see, at least I hope so, a redo, or not a redo, but basically a re-release of the original Gears games on PlayStation, hopefully on PC as well.
You really think you can go all in on PlayStation as well?
Well, I mean, I would think that you would want to capitalize on that. It makes good business sense. If you want to,
it does. It does.
If you want to generate a whole new class of people that's on a whole new platform, you want to get them excited about something that's coming out in the future, let them play the old stuff. Stuff that they might have been for years going, wow, I'd really like to play that, but I don't want to buy an Xbox just for that one game. Well, now you don't have to. Here it is. Because I guarantee, when Halo came out, I talked to several people that were like, I am not buying an Xbox. You can kiss my ass. I'm a Sony guy. I love Sony. It's great. Will you play Halo for 5 minutes? Fine. I will be right back. I'm going to buy an Xbox. I mean, that's exactly how it went every time somebody sat down and played Halo. It's like, what?
Yeah, but
this is the funnest game I've ever seen in my life. Where is the nearest store?
But that's also the point. Like, if they got Halo to that point again, or the next Gears, or next game,
you can't.
If they actually make it good enough to where people are like, hey, this is really good, I want a console for.
I mean, it would have to be really good, but we don't do that anymore. It's not. Consoles are different now. You know, it's just
Or,
different.
or it's like, hang on, I'm just gonna get a PC. But like, I understand they want to go more software, and it's basically it's not so much about console selling as about game selling. What
Right.
what the money is in
Right.
is actual copies anywhere and everywhere. That makes the money now.
Right.
So that's why they put games on PlayStation. But I still want them to have like core franchises, as their own brand. So,
Has that happened anywhere in history though? Like, were there people like, oh man, Sonic is out, so I got to get a Genesis. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I can't wait to play Super Mario, so I'm gonna buy a Nintendo. I don't know. I get this feeling like Halo was sort of an anomaly that
Oh,
that
I mean,
no.
I,
I
I
mean,
wanted a
not for me.
PlayStation for longest time because I wanted Spider-Man. And now Sony have gone PC. I thought I'll get a PC instead.
I bought a PlayStation 2 to play Champions of Norath. I bought a PlayStation 3 to play Uncharted and Killzone. I bought a GameCube to play Rogue Squadron. So, not at launch, not when these games came out, but eventually when the price drops. You remember when price dropped on consoles?
Yeah.
And the games prices drop. It was like that's when I would buy that other console. I would getting a PlayStation 2. It's like, well, I bought it for this game, but oh, look at these other games I can now play that I originally wasn't going to. Same thing with the GameCube and anything else. And even PlayStation 3, there was an even larger library of games that I could play that I couldn't previously because I had a 360. So yeah, I think people do that. I don't think it's a launch title decision. I mean, I don't think it's a launch console decision. I don't think it's like, what's that one game that's going to make me either buy the Xbox Series EX, XX, whatever, and the PlayStation 6. I don't think it's that anymore. I don't think there's not going to be like a launch title that goes, oh, well, I'm definitely getting this one.
I know they have sort of shifted away from that launch period.
Yeah, there's not really launch titles now anyway.
Like PS4 and PS4 and Xbox One had launch titles. They had some decent launch titles. And it's like now it's just like, well, PS5 and the Xbox are just upgraded
right
from before.
Right.
And
So
the next one's
there's
going to be upgraded from before. So even the PS5 Pro is out. What's up with it?
Yeah.
So
well, that's
get
why
new
when there's a
hardware all
new
the time.
console, the people that are buying said console are because they have the previous console.
Yeah.
It's not a decision of, oh God, which one do I get this time? It's you're going to
I know
go
that
because
people
that's where
have
all
their-
your games are. That's where all your money has been
I know
spent.
people have their libraries and that. Maybe Microsoft thought, well, we've got a Series S, it's cheap and people can buy it, but which kind of works. But yeah, it's very hard for like business sense. I understand what Microsoft are thinking because they just want Xbox everywhere. They want to have their hand in everything.
Yep.
At the same time, if like Halo goes to PlayStation, who's getting the next Xbox for Halo?
Yeah.
Well, who was going to get it for Halo to begin with?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but
just-
like I think those
those 12 people that are like, oh, it's Halo, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but old school fans that like thought Xbox was Halo. It was born on Halo, and
Well,
times changed.
That's how I remember it, though. Like for me, when I I had Nintendo, but I pretty much started my real love affair started with Genesis, and I got Genesis because I wanted to play Altered Beast because I played it in the arcade.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted Michael Jackson Moonwalker because back in the day I did like Michael Jackson, and then after that it just became, Genesis came out with the 32X. Genesis came out with the Sega came out with Sega CD. So it wasn't necessarily the games that got me excited about the next console. It was what's the next tech that is going to push gaming to the next level.
Right.
But Halo specifically
Yeah.
made me not even care about the console.
Okay.
All
I
I
see what
cared
you're
about
saying.
was Halo. And the thing is that the next console that came out, it was always talking about Halo. It was never talking about the console. Then when Halo died, everybody just kind of reverted back to this idea of I just want to get the next tech. I don't really care necessarily about the game. Like, the game is great. Like, for example, I remember Halo wasn't even really in the conversation, and Xbox showed the next Xbox. I believe it was Xbox One, and they were showing a movement more towards
TV,
uh
TV, TV,
ha-
TV.
TV, right?
Yeah.
TV, right? And everybody was sort of like, you know, this is cool, I guess. Like, what's so special about this? Like, this is a gaming console. We want to be able to play games on it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was not really talk about this one game that everybody's like super
Right.
excited. There
Right.
was just Halo. I just feel like Halo changed the game. I mean, the
Literally.
cliche thing to
Yeah.
say,
Yeah, yeah,
but they changed everything.
yeah.
Everything.
It did.
Everything.
It
I mean,
did.
just a few games can actually do that, and it was definitely at the right time.
Like, I didn't care that it was on Xbox. I just wanted the
Right.
Halo, and if I had to buy an Xbox to get Halo, then so be it, And like, and I know that I hope that Microsoft was smart enough to understand that. Like, listen, this game is changed everything. I just don't know if like that can ever happen again. Like, it was sort of like an anomaly,
Yeah.
like.
It was a flash. The way that game came together was it was a miracle that it even shipped. Like even the multiplayer, 4 months before it was released, they ditched it. They canned
Yeah.
it completely and started from scratch because it wasn't fun. And what came out, and even right before it launched, they're like, maybe we shouldn't put the multiplayer in it. I mean, that was actually a decision before they went gold. And of course, Jason Jones was like, no, just we need to have multiplayer. But the marketing for the first Xbox was all about Abe's Odyssey. Like that was the game they thought was going to put them on the map. Like everybody was going to buy this console for that one game. And it took only like a matter of weeks before people started shifting to like, what is this? Like, what is this? And again, like you say the same thing. Like when I would have friends come over and like, I don't want that trash. It's just a PC in a box. I'm like, hey, let's play Halo for a second. And then, they're like throwing their wallet at my TV.
Yeah.
They didn't know that. They didn't know that's what they had. I don't think Bungie even really understood what they had. It came together. They were like, like building an airplane before it crashed, So then when it hit and it got popular and it just blew up, that's why Halo 2 objectively is not as good as CE in a lot of aspects, because it had a completely different approach. Like, oh, well, now we've got all this money and we can do whatever we want, and
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. It was very much a flash in the pan, and it's very few times that we get games like that. And
Yeah.
the economy and the way that games are made and the way that games are bought and digital libraries, I think, have killed that console selling game. Moving forward.
I mean, I can understand a lot
Maybe
of
they
that.
should just kill it.
Pro-
Just let it die.
yeah. I think the only console selling game that could possibly happen now is, Nintendo, because it's just Nintendo Switch. They got their software, so people buy Nintendo. Probably an exception, really.
Scam.
But if Sony and Microsoft actually hit a market that, I don't know, just happened to be popular, like, I don't know, Battle Royale, before it was popular, and like PUBG and Fortnite just hit that. So that's the only reason I think there can be a console selling game now. If they just hit something right and the market is, right there. It'll
But
be very hard to do so.
It's not about that anymore, though. That's why you're seeing Gears go back to day one. That's why you're seeing a remake of Fable. That's why they bought Call of Duty, because it's not about that anymore. It's about the live service game. This is why everyone's like, why don't they make their own Uncharted or their own God of War? No, because those games don't make money.
Yeah.
They have no interest in making games like that, because you buy it for $70, you get all these sales, and then it's gone. Poof. They want games that continuously churn out money. How many times has Sea of Thieves probably paid for itself?
Definitely.
Probably hundreds of times over, because it was a project. It was a project game. It was, let's see what we can do with this, and now it's a live service game that a lot of people play and spend money in. That's why we're not getting that one game that comes out that everybody's just going to freak out over from Microsoft or Sony. I don't. Nothing from Sony excites me at all. Especially if it's going to be God of War 3 or Uncharted 9 or
Yeah, not right now anyway. They haven't done anything like original for a while. Do you think, though, I know Microsoft's quite happy of sharing games and even Sony to switch randomly. Do you think you'll see more Sony games on Xbox at some point in the future?
Not for a long time. I don't think that Sony's going to put anything on Xbox for a long time. They're not in the business to.
I know they're very stubborn of it.
Yeah.
They're in the business of selling their hardware.
Right. When that starts to go away, then they will. But yeah. Well, let's move on to a couple of quick things before we get out of here, because I want to keep updated. I don't want to put this off for another week, because then it's not relevant. But Red Dead Redemption is coming to PC finally after 11 years. Do you guys know how much the price is?
Is it like $50 or something?
Yeah,
$50 hairs.
$50. Now, this is not a remake. This is not a remaster. This is just the game on PC. All of its content. The Undead comes with it as well. For $50. Tell me that Rockstar is not just pirates that just rob your wallet. This is there. I don't think this is going to be as big a hit as they think it's going to be. I think everybody's going to wait till this thing is about $30, $25, which is where it should have landed in the first place. So
yeah.
Well, I mean, you get some
I'm not
people buy
spending
it.
it. I'm not spending that. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Spending
Although I said this to Scott before as well. I just got to PC and the actual release Red Dead Redemption. So forget Half-Life. Will they release Half-Life? Will they announce Half-Life 3?
Yeah, or Half-Life Alyx 2. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Well, I also wanted to mention at parkplace.com, Tim Willits has said something that I thought was really cool, and I'm going to paraphrase because the article is pretty long. But if you don't know who Tim Willits is, he used to work for id Software many, many, many years ago. And he went to work for Saber Interactive. And he said something about the success of Space Marines 2. It reached, I believe, 2 million in sales. And he said they threw a party. And
nice.
2 million copies, and they're popping corks and talking about Space Marines 3. So, and then, of course, I'm sure the interviewer asked them about other, like Sony and Ubisoft and these AAA games and stuff, and he said there's something fundamentally wrong if you are having to sell 10 million copies of a game to make money.
Yeah,
he said that is not sustainable, and he's 100% right. This is what Microsoft has even said years ago. This is what's killing the AAA gaming. It's the price of games they're too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, if you think just think for a minute, like your product sold 1 million and you can't make money. Yeah. That's nuts.
I mean, in looking at games in general, it's like I've seen games that one person has made, and it is a full-fledged game. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing, of course, but I'm trying to think of a game recently. Done by
Infinite
one guy.
Memory.
Oh
Bright
yeah,
Memory.
Infinite Bright Memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, one guy.
I think
made that.
I think it started by one guy, and then I got
Yep.
a few others. I think.
Yeah, you
But
got some
basically
help,
started by
but
one
holy
guy.
cow, that game looks incredible, and it's fun to play, and it's about 2 hours long, and it's like $20, and it's like perfect. Think about how much it costs for them to make Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is like a 120-hour game. Think about how many people only played about 20 hours of that, right? So 20 hours of that, and then they're like, I can't play this anymore. I don't have time, or it's just too long. Why did that game have to cost so much? Why did it have to be 120 hours? Right? Those are the questions that probably somebody is asking Ubisoft right now. Like, why are your games so
all
bloated?
the shareholders, like,
right?
why are your games 500 hours long?
Exactly. Why this is stupid. You're making these games so big. So, was saying that, Space Marines 2, the campaign's only about 8 hours, and then the other missions can be played over and over to upgrade and stuff at different difficulties. And even those, if you play those are about 7, probably another 8 to 9 hours altogether. And it's a $70 game. I don't have any problem with that at all, because all the content in there is fun and replayable, and they sold 2 million copies, and they made money off of it. They made a ton of money because they didn't, bloat their game. Okay. Also, Alien Isolation. Liam, I know you probably didn't play this, but
I played it. Actually, I did play it. I got it. So,
oh yeah,
yeah.
Still scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, it's getting a sequel.
I like to watch people play it. Like
Yeah.
that's one game I throw on YouTube every once in a while.
Maybe I should stream that on like Halloween and scare the crap out of me. Get loads of views.
It is a good game, but it is when it came out, the alien in the game was really, really smart, and would find you if you like did this. Like if you turned your head, it would be like, So it had to be tweaked a little bit, and playing it now, it is a little bit better. But man, when it came out, I bought it and I played it, and I spent the entire game in a locker, and I quit playing it because I didn't want to spend. I didn't want. It was just locker the game,
I'm pretty sure I had the Connect at the time on Xbox One.
Well,
it came out shortly afterwards. So if you cough or just move,
it would detect light
Yeah.
and sound. So if you would have to play in a completely dark room. So it required you to play in a dark room. If somebody came in and turned the light, it was like, the alien was like,
no.
or if you made a loud noise or a noise, that it could pick up on, the alien would hear you. That's brilliant, man. Nobody does this stuff anymore. But I think now if you haven't played it, play it now, because the alien acts a little bit more, I guess, organic, in the sense of if it's going down a hall, it's actually down the hall and not like running back toward you because you moved one step to the right. It is a fantastic game. It still holds up today, and I'm glad that it's getting a sequel by the same game director, the same studio, and the same crew that made the first one, which was rare since this game is 10 years old. So
Nice.
that's promising.
Yeah.
And then a rumor. I think there was a rumor for Halo going third party, but I don't think that's a rumor. I think the new one's going to go third party. But Concord is getting updates on Steam. So the Steam the uploaded game on Steam, which you cannot purchase right now, you can't even see it. It's not even searchable. But somehow people can look at the database. It is getting substantial updates. So there's a rumor that this thing could be coming back free to play. I don't know if it is going to come back with changes or actually interesting looking characters. But yeah, Concord is probably going to be back in the news very soon.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if it goes free to play or just comes back, because otherwise that's just wasted money, wasted assets, everything for Sony. Like, you got to get something out of this.
I think they proved they're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Nobody bought it.
No.
Nobody. I mean, the majority of the people that bought it to play the first beta because you had to pre-order it to get the first beta, and then the second free beta, nobody was playing it. I think that they could do that, but you got to look at the cost of maintaining a live service game that nobody's playing, as opposed to shutting it down, making the studio a support studio for somebody else, and not, getting money out of the studio and not losing any more money. That's what you have to look at. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this came back out free to play. David, what do you think? How likely do you think it is for it to come back as a free to play game?
If they add a Titus Warhammer cameo.
Oh yeah, new class.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm in.
Just put some skimpy women.
It's like
in
be
bikinis
like completely OP.
and it'll blow up.
Yeah, he's like walks in the room for the Emperor, and everybody just dies.
It's like you're going through, cycling through all the characters, like, crap.
Yeah.
Titus? What the fuck?
Yeah. Chainsaw
Look at
blade.
you, man.
Oh my god. It would just be like a bunch of Tituses running around and fighting each other.
And then you just pick him, and his voice is like, "You better have picked me."
Yeah. You pick him, and no one else can be on your team. Like everybody just gets kicked.
Yeah. He has
I don't need
finishers too.
You're worthless. Yeah. That would be awesome.
That would be great. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's time for a beat 'em up game with. Let's see. You get throw some Space Marines in there, Delta Squad from Gears, some Spartans, the Doom guy, the old Doom guy, the new Doom guy, and who else am I thinking of? All the guys from Killzone and Kratos and
Killer
Nathan
Instinct
Drake
in there.
Yeah,
as well.
just big.
Oh, and
beat 'em
one
up.
Minecraft guy.
Yeah.
One Minecraft guy.
Nah, the Minecraft guy.
You're good. She was just shits and giggles.
Yeah, you could just build shit in the game.
That's what I want Microsoft to do. Actually, you make it like I don't know, a beat 'em
cartoon
up,
beat 'em up.
or Royale or something. Like just throw all your
Yeah,
IP
man,
into something.
have fun with it. Make something fun. That's what everybody's so starved for, is just games that are just goofy and fun and not. I think we're all just sick of it being such a business. It's become such a business that people forget what makes games fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So.
Really quick, but like one thing that he said in that article, I read a little bit of it. He said,
"Who's that?
We don't need to sell 4 million units to make Space Marines a success."
Yeah.
And I immediately thought of, I can't remember the guy's name, but there was a musician who had like a hit song.
Yeah. I know.
He went platinum with his song, and then his next song didn't hit platinum. It was like 5 million copies sold, some ridiculous number.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yeah, your next song wasn't a hit." And he's like, "Well, how is it not a hit if I sold 5 million records?" Like,
Yeah.
in what world do we live in that I can sell 5? You got a guy down the block who makes his own music, and he sold 100 copies of his CD. I sell 5 million, and I'm not a success. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I think they're, and then I went down this rabbit hole of what the music industry was like, and there's just like so many people just taking little pieces of, I do this job, so I take $1 million cut of this, and it's just getting to the point where it's just a bad business now. The business is just
that's
just
like
crap.
Gaming is, and that's why I think that like if 4 guys can make a game in 3 years and put it on Steam and sell 25,000 copies, and make money at it, then that's a success.
Yeah.
That's a success story. We always measure these success stories by like how many millions did it,
Right.
Because that's the problem with any sort of entertainment industry, is because like when it goes like here, it sells this many copies.
Yeah.
Anything lower than that is terrible and crap.
Yeah, somebody raises the bar. There's a guy that it was I don't know the band. I think the band's name is Anvil or something. But anyway, he was telling this interviewer that it's better to sell like 50,000 copies of your music and own it than 30 million copies of it and you don't own it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of what we're seeing here. It's like the same thing with like Ubisoft. It's like they have to sell so many copies. So they have to dilute and make the game for so many people.
Yeah.
That if everybody's doing that, if everybody's making every game for everybody, nothing special, nothing stands out. We don't have that halo. We don't have that. We're not going to get any more. You know, it's like that game, that breakout game that everybody loves. It's few and far between. You know, if there is, it's usually like a new battle royale or something that's like hot for like 2 seconds, but nothing that changes the industry. So.
I mean, I just think once the rich get their hands on it, that's when it really starts.
Well, that started in 2020. You know, the investors started giving money to all the studios and then they have a say in how the game's made.
Right. And then they make these astronomical, you know. Well, we got to make
and stuff.
We got to make 18 million. We're gonna make 18 million, right? And it's like, whoa, wait, what's it? We're just trying to make a great game here. Like, what the?
Yeah, but it also raises the question of like, that's what I'm wondering about sometimes. Where if you make a game, and I think I said this before, like Spider-Man 1 for Sony, I think it cost about 50 million roughly. The next game costs 300 million plus.
Yeah.
Why?
That's a good question. Why?
Why?
It's the same game.
Why does it cost that much? Yeah, why? Like, what justifies a 200% increase in budget? Yeah, we can't really tell.
No, and it's not like there was a big generational leap in graphics or anything in that game. I mean, it's not. There's nothing there that will show you. It's like, wow, this is a sequel. No, they probably used a lot of the same assets, the same city, same everything. So like, where is the cost coming from for these games to be, you know, so expensive?
I do imagine with something like Spider-Man, Disney were like, hey, give me money, please, for licenses, because the last one was, you know, good. And
then you got a coder coming into work with PB&J.
Right, I know. Sleeping under their desk because they couldn't afford their house.
He's like, oh, it's a $300 million game, but I still come to work with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I can't afford it. Like, what am I?
Yeah, no kidding.
I'll have to check this as well, because I think Black Myth Wukong might have like cost 75 million or something like that. And it's sold 20 million copies?
Seemed like I just read somewhere it was 34 million. It cost them 34.
It was a low,
and it's made them almost $1 billion.
And so, like, you need to spend your money wisely.
Right.
Just throwing money doesn't work.
No, and having, I mean, when Bungie laid off all their employees, and then the employees that were laid off were like, this is what they cut from us. They cut like our espresso machine in the break room. They took that out, and we didn't have 300 hours of PTO, and like everything that they lost, I've never had in a job. Like, what do you? You still what you still have after that huge cut? I don't even have.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of. I see a lot of cost in that stuff. If you walk in these studios and there's just this huge statue of their main character made out of marble with like gold etching and shit. It's like, that's great and all, but you're still going to get that game made if you just have a standard lobby with someone at a desk.
Yeah.
It's not Hollywood. And you're not movie stars. You're not rock stars. Stop spending money like you do. If somebody there is making millions and millions of dollars, that a one person, something's wrong with that studio. Something's wrong with the industry. It's not. It was never meant to be that way. Everybody should be making money, and it should cost less. So, yep. I'm gonna start a game studio.
Let's do it.
I mean, I only need $36 million.
Yeah.
Patreon. down below. No. All right. Well, I think that's it for this show this week. That was a good discussion about Halo. I felt good about that. I'm glad it didn't drop like yesterday, because I would be like, "Fuck these guys," I had time to kind of calm down a little. Yeah, kind of think about it, process a little bit. But yeah, the beard's growing back, so don't worry. I shaved it for something I'm working on Seriously Tech stuff here on YouTube. Go check it out. And
nice.
So David, you got a gig coming out you want to plug, or you got?
I'm actually playing a show next week here in Long Island, and the wife's playing today, so she probably has to come in here and practice.
Okay.
She likes to practice before a show, but I'll be able to do the podcast next week because my show's on Saturday, so it's fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
So yeah.
Liam, you got anything? You're twitching, right? Where can people see you on Twitch?
Yeah, I am working on Twitch. LC Gaming 95 as a plug.
All right, cool.
Trying to work it out and get everything sorted. Streaming is hard. It looks easy. It's hard.
It's not easy. There's a lot involved. There's a lot of stuff you don't see. When you see somebody streaming, you're just like, oh, you just click your thing and you stream. No,
you just click
there is a lot
as
to
soon
it.
As soon as you click it, all your computer goes down.
Last night I was sitting here and I heard from across the hallway, my wife who was streaming, she's like, the fucking thing doesn't work. I'm like, okay, I guess I got to go tend to that.
Yeah.
Twitch you open the window. You open the window and you leave.
Right. She goes over here. Come in, Vic. And I'm like down the street, like running from a light.
Like, you just see the curtain blowing from the window.
Scott, he's gone.
Right.
He's gone.
Yeah, it almost got to that. It's like, I didn't make Twitch. It's not me. It's just
yeah.
But anyway, all right. Well, cool. Well, thanks for dropping in, guys. Thank you guys for watching us and listening to us. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcast. We're on Google Well, not Google. That's gone now. Spotify, all that good stuff. So catch us there, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
All right.